In this video, I'll explain the Criss Cross Ashi. It's one of my favorite leg locking positions. I'll explain to you guys how it compares to other leg locking positions, how to get into the position, how to control it, and of course how to finish it. Hope you guys enjoy. So the Criss Cross Ashi is like a hybrid leg locking position. You get the benefits of both 50-50 and of the cross ashi, or the inside sankaku. It's very similar to the outside sankaku that leglocking uses, but I think it's a little bit stronger. So let's compare to those three leg locking positions. So if we're in 50-50, here we have a few benefits and a few disadvantages. Every leg locking position has some. So in 50-50 it's nice because I can easily expose my opponent's heel, but my heel is also easily exposed. We're both in a leg lock shootout, so the person that's most adept to the position will usually win in this exchange. So both of our heels are vulnerable. So that's good offensively, but it's hard defensively. Compared to the Criss Cross Ashi, here my heel is a little bit more hidden, but I still have the benefit of exposing his heel. In the Cross Ashi, or the inside sankaku, my heels are both safe from Bart's attack. So it's hard for Bart to attack anything on me, and I can attack his leg. The disadvantage of this position is that it's hard for me to expose his heel. If Bart knows what he's doing in this situation, he can easily hide his heel, and I have to follow up with different attacks. Compare that to the Criss Cross Ashi, where he can still expose his heel, and we're still quite safe ourselves. So let's look at it from the other side. So the Cross Ashi, my heels are safe. He can't attack my heels, but in a Criss Cross Ashi, he's still quite hard for him to attack my heels, and I can also attack his heel instead of him just hiding it away the whole time. Now let's compare it to the outside sankaku, the position the leglocking made popular over the last few years. In the outside sankaku, the idea is to move from 50-50, get your leg over the body, and bite, where you can get a strong attacking position. It has a lot of strong points as well. Again, I can attack his heels. It's hard for him to attack my heels, and it's also hard for him to hand fight from here. So especially if I keep this foot on his belly, it's hard for him to get close to me. I can keep the distance. Very good position. The problem I had with this position is that it's hard to get this leg over. So when I try to get this leg over, Bart can easily hand fight, push it back. Even when I get it all the way over, if he lies back, he can throw it over his body. So what I like to do, instead of getting it over his body, I like to get it under his leg. So instead of crossing it here, we cross it here, where we have that crisscross situation. Now, disadvantage of the position comes into play. Here, it's almost impossible for Bart to use his leg to kick my leg out. But in this situation, if I don't do the position correctly, he can kick out and defend. But we'll look into solutions for that problem in just a bit. Alright, so that's the idea of the position. It combines a lot of the benefits of other leg locking positions. Of course, there's also weaknesses in this position, but for me it's been a very effective position so far. Now let's look at a few ways to enter it. The simplest way to enter it is just going from 50-50 to 80-20, turning to your side, and then instead of going to the outside sankaku you would usually do, you can go to the Criss Cross Ashi. I'll show you how. So we're in a 50-50 situation. Here I want to move to 80-20. What is 80-20? It just means that I turn my hips down to the ground and my knee goes to the ground as well. So now we're in an 80-20 situation. Make sure when you do this to keep your heel safe, so don't leave your heel extended where you can grab it. I like to get my foot close to his body. I'll show you that from a different angle in just a bit. From here, it's important that I control his knee. If I just make a transition without controlling the knee, he can easily pull his knee out, and I'm losing my position. So I control the knee, I go over, and instead of going across the body, I go under the leg, and now I got my Criss Cross Ashi. So let's look at that again from the other side. So look at how I keep my heel safe. When I move to that 80-20 position, my heel is close to his body. If Bart tries to fish for my heel, it's going to be quite hard. Compare that to when my heel is dangling here. So my heel stays close, my other leg comes over, and I control. Now this foot comes on the belly, and I have a strong leg locking position where I can start attacking into Criss Cross Ashi. So this is your basic entry. One more time from the other side. So you can update your 50-50 to a Criss Cross Ashi here. Elbow under, and you can attack. Another way you can get into this position is from the Cross Ashi, or the inside sankaku. This is most recently done by Gordon Ryan against Matheus Diniz. Very strong transition. He used the escaping motion of Diniz to get into his Criss Cross Ashi. So Bart tries to turn away. Instead of just going with the movement, rolling over my forehead, I will make an inversion here. So instead of rolling like this, I go underneath, spin, and now when I spin, I bring my right foot, in this case, to his far leg. Now when you spin through, again I'm in the Criss Cross Ashi. Let's look at that again. It's tight. So we're in our Cross Ashi. Bart spins away. I make my inversion, and look how I use this foot to come between here. Now when we land, we're in Criss Cross Ashi. I flare my knees, and I can finish. So this is the one Gordon Ryan did on Matheus Diniz. So you can use both the 50-50 and your regular Cross Ashi to get into the position. There's a lot of different ways, but those are some of the more popular leg locking positions you can use to go into the Criss Cross Ashi. Let's get both of them again. From 50-50, we just move to the side, controlling his knee, keeping our heel safe. Leg goes over. Criss Cross Ashi. If we're in the Cross Ashi, both our legs on the inside. Bart will try to spin away. I make my inversion, spin through, pummel my leg in, and again, I'm in Criss Cross Ashi. Okay, now let's look at the control of the position. So we know why we would use the position, we know how to get into the position. Let's talk a little bit about controlling the position. If we get into the Criss Cross Ashi, here, there's two ways I can control. I can go outside over or inside over. So I can go with my outside leg, especially if you go from 50-50, your outside leg can come over your inside leg, or it can come under. And this is more the case if you're in a Cross Ashi. So if we would use the entry from before, from the Cross Ashi, Bart turns away, I invert. Now my inside comes over, so he spins through. Here. Now my inside leg goes over. So you can either be outside over or inside over. Both have their like weaker points, stronger points, but you can use them pretty much interchangeably. You see this at a high level, we use both with the inside leg over and with the outside leg over. It depends a bit on your entry. Both have their strongness, both have their weakness, but you have to play around with them. You can use both of them, so don't worry if your inside leg is over or your outside leg is over. I have a small preference towards outside leg over because I feel I have a little bit more strength to expose the heel compared to the inside leg over. But it's personal preference. You see this work both ways at a high level. Okay, now for control. We talked a little bit earlier about your opponent being able to kick your leg away. This is the main counter, and this counter is actually the reason a lot of leg locking experts were discrediting this position. They said it's good to go here, but you're very vulnerable to that kick, so it's better to go here or just stay at 50-50. But there's quite an easy solution to this problem. If my knee is pointing away from Bart, it's going to be super easy for him to kick my hamstring. But if my knee is flared open towards him, now if he tries to kick, it's going to be quite a challenge. So my preference is flaring my knees, making it impossible for him to get anything going. So this is our control. So you have two variations: inside over, outside over. As long as you flare your knees, you should be safe from the kicking motion. Here. Now let's go into finishing. So for finishing, you're obviously looking for an inside heel hook, one of the strongest finishing holds in Jiu-Jitsu. With your legs, it's easier to expose the heel because you can use your inside leg to lift the heel up, and it's going to be quite hard for him to use the secondary leg to fight with. So if Bart tries to connect his legs here, I can use my Cross Ashi to open it. If he fights very strongly, I can even make the cross on his far leg and extend it open. So your legs can help with the grip fight of the foot. Another thing you can do is use your hand. So if I don't want to move my cross to the leg and Bart locks his legs, I can just use the basic ways of opening his legs to get the lock. So what I like to do is I go between his legs and I grab the knuckle line of the toes. The other one goes over and I peel open. So one more time. He locks his legs in a cross. My far hand comes between the legs. I grab the toe line. Now I use this elbow to lever the legs open. Go back here. And I use the other hand to assist here. Now I can immediately catch the heel, lock in whatever grip I prefer. Gable grip, false grip, or even a figure 4 variations. Usually the gable grip suffices in this situation because you have a strong finishing position. From here you can start turning and bridging into the knee to get your tap. So take it one more time. And again, this works both with the inside over and the outside over. So I'll show you with the outside over as well. Here we can use the same idea. Here, finish. So that's the idea with the Criss Cross Ashi. It combines a lot of the strengths from various leg locking positions, and it's quite easy to get into if you're already into the leg, so either from 50-50 or from your inside sankaku or cross ashi, how you want to call it. From there we can use our control mechanics working towards the inside heel hook. If you're using this position and if you found any other things I didn't mention, please leave them in the comments. I'd be very interested to hear them. If you have any questions about the position, also please let me know. If you like this video, please leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and see you guys next time. Thanks.